Welcome to BookTube English. Let's improve our English while exploring the most widely read books in the world. This channel features a variety of genres: self-help, business, health, religion, and spirituality, all organized into separate playlists. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, replaying a conversation, an event, a moment of pain over and over again in your mind? It's like a movie you can't turn off, and you're the unwilling star. You feel that knot in your stomach, that ache in your chest, and you think to yourself, I can't keep living like this. This isn't me. You know you need to move on, to let go, but the path forward feels foggy, maybe even impossible. What do you do when the person who hurt you never says they're sorry? How do you make peace with memories that still have the power to bring you to your knees? If any of this sounds familiar, if you've ever felt trapped by the ghosts of your past, then I believe today's book might just be the light you've been searching for. Today, we are diving deep into a book that has touched millions of hearts and topped the charts as a #1 New York Times bestseller. It's called Forgiving What You Can't Forget. Discover how to move on, make peace with painful memories, and create a life that's beautiful again. Written by the incredible Lysa TerKeurst. Now, Lysa TerKeurst isn't just an author. She's a force of nature in the world of inspirational writing and speaking. As the president of Proverbs 31 Ministries, she has dedicated her life to guiding people through life's toughest challenges. She's the author of more than 25 books, including other bestsellers like Uninvited and It's Not Supposed to Be This Way. What makes her writing so powerful is that she doesn't write from an ivory tower. She writes from her family's farm table, from a place of real, raw, lived experience. She's been through the fire, and in this book, she's not just telling us how to get through it, she's taking our hand and walking with us. This book has made a massive impact, and you don't have to take just my word for it. It boasts an incredible 26,000 ratings on Amazon and a stellar 4.12 out of 5 on Goodreads. Readers from all over the world have called this book life-changing, beautifully written, and deeply insightful. People mention how it provides a tangible, step-by-step healing method for coping with hurts and unforgiveness. Many appreciate Lysa's raw honesty and how she makes complex biblical teachings accessible and understandable. While the book is deeply rooted in a Christian perspective, which is a huge comfort and guide for many, its core message about healing from pain resonates on a universal human level. The consensus is clear. This book offers a powerful journey towards peace. So, what is it about forgiving what you can't forget that makes it so special? At its heart, this book tackles one of the most difficult human emotions, resentment. It's that heavy, sticky feeling that clings to us when we've been deeply wronged. Lysa knows this feeling intimately. She acknowledges that forgiveness is not a simple one-time decision. It's not a magic wand you wave over your pain to make it disappear. It's a process, it's a journey, and sometimes it's a brutal fight. The book starts by validating our pain. It gives us permission to acknowledge the hurt. So often we're told to just forgive and forget, as if it's as easy as flipping a switch. But Lysa says, no, the forgetting part isn't realistic or even healthy. The pain was real, the offense was real, the damage was real. The goal isn't to erase the memory, but to release the memory's power over you. It's about taking the pen back from the person who hurt you and refusing to let them write the rest of your story.
One of the most powerful and liberating ideas in this book is how to handle situations where the other person refuses to change, or worse, refuses to even acknowledge they did anything wrong. This is the ultimate sticking point for so many of us, isn't it? We think, how can I forgive them if they're not even sorry? We get stuck waiting for an apology that may never come. We're holding our breath for a resolution that is entirely in someone else's hands. Lysa, with deep empathy and wisdom, shows us that forgiveness is not about them. It's about you. It's about freeing yourself from the prison of bitterness regardless of what the other person does or doesn't do. It's about choosing your peace over their apology. She walks us through a very practical, step-by-step process to do this. This isn't just abstract theory, it's based on more than 1,000 hours of theological study and her own gut-wrenching personal journey. She helps you identify the triggers that send you spiraling back into that pit of pain. You know those moments: a song on the radio, a name mentioned in passing, a random memory that pops up, and suddenly you're right back there, feeling all the hurt as if it just happened. Lysa provides tools to disempower those triggers. She teaches you how to see them coming, how to acknowledge the emotion without letting it hijack your entire day. It's about learning to say, I see you, old pain. I feel you, but you don't get to control me anymore. And for those who are seeking a faith-based perspective, this book is an absolute treasure. Lysa dives deep into what the Bible really says about forgiveness. She unpacks the scriptures in a way that is profound yet easy to grasp. She explains that forgiveness isn't just a good suggestion from God, it's a pathway to the peace He promises. She clears up so many misconceptions. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to trust the person again. It doesn't mean you have to have a relationship with them. Reconciliation and forgiveness are two different things. Forgiveness is the work you do in your own heart before God. Reconciliation requires the participation and repentance of the other person. Understanding this distinction is, for many, a complete game changer. It releases you from the burden of trying to fix a relationship that the other person is unwilling to mend. Furthermore, the book explores how unforgiveness affects all of our other relationships. When we're carrying around a heavy bag of bitterness, it seeps into everything. It can make us cynical. It can steal our ability to be vulnerable and to trust new people. We start to believe that everyone will eventually let us down. We build walls around our hearts to protect ourselves, but those same walls also keep out love, joy, and connection. Lysa helps us identify how this poison might be subtly damaging our lives and our potential for future happiness. She helps us believe that there is still so much good ahead, but we have to be willing to put down the heavy baggage of the past to be able to receive it. She talks about the two necessary parts of forgiveness. This is a crucial concept. It's not just about saying the words, I forgive you, either out loud or in your heart. It's a dual process. It involves both a decision and a process. The decision is the moment you choose to obey God's command and let go of the debt. The process is the ongoing work of dealing with the waves of emotion that will inevitably still come. It's about forgiving and then forgiving again tomorrow and maybe the day after that, until the pain loses its sharp edge and becomes a scar instead of an open wound. A scar is a reminder that you were hurt, yes, but it's also a reminder that you healed. This book is like having a wise, compassionate friend sitting with you, holding your hand and telling you, I know it hurts, I've been there, but you are going to make it. There is a beautiful life waiting for you on the other side of this pain, and I'm going to help you get there. It's a guide not just to surviving your past, but to creating a future that is rich, meaningful, and beautiful again. Now, let's dive into some of the most powerful words from the book itself. I've chosen 3 quotes that I believe capture the essence of Lysa TerKeurst's message. We'll read each one, and then we'll unpack it together. Here is the first quote. It is necessary for you not to let pain rewrite your memories, and it's absolutely necessary not to let pain ruin your future. Let's just sit with that for a second. There are 2 distinct, equally important parts to this statement. First, not to let pain rewrite your memories.
This is so profound. Have you ever noticed how a deep hurt can act like a filter over your entire past? Maybe you had years of a good relationship with someone, a friend, a family member, a partner. But then a betrayal happens, and suddenly that pain can go back in time and taint every single good memory you had. You start to question everything. Were they ever really my friend? Did they ever really love me? Was it all a lie? The pain doesn't just hurt you in the present, it tries to steal your past too. It rewrites the narrative, turning what was once a source of joy into a source of suspicion and pain. Lysa is telling us that we have to fight this. It is a necessary fight. We must actively protect the truth of our past. Yes, the bad thing happened. That is a fact. But the good things that happened before it are also facts. They also existed. They were real. We cannot let the darkness of one chapter blot out the light of all the previous chapters. It requires a conscious effort to hold on to the good, to acknowledge it, to say, this part was beautiful, and I will not let the ugly ending erase that beauty. It's about preserving the integrity of your own life story. Then we get to the second part, which is even more crucial. And it's absolutely necessary not to let pain ruin your future. This is the forward-looking command. If the first part is about protecting your past, this part is about protecting your potential. Unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, these emotions are anchors. They keep you tied to the person and the event that hurt you. As long as you are anchored to that pain, you can't sail into the new waters of your future. Think about it. When you're consumed by what someone did to you, you have less mental energy, less emotional capacity for new things. You might miss out on a new friendship because you're too scared of being betrayed again. You might pass up a wonderful opportunity because you're too bogged down by the weight of what happened before. You might be physically present with the people who love you now, but your mind is somewhere else, relitigating the past. Lysa uses the term absolutely necessary. This isn't just a good idea. It's a requirement for a healthy, beautiful life. You owe it to your future self to do the hard work of forgiveness now. Your future self deserves to be free. Your future relationships, your future joys, your future peace, they are all depending on the choices you make today about the pain of yesterday. This quote is a powerful call to action. Guard your past from being rewritten and guard your future from being ruined. You are the gatekeeper of your own heart and your own timeline. All right, let's move on to our second quote. This one really gets to the core of the why behind forgiveness, especially from a spiritual perspective. Here it is. Forgiveness isn't always about doing something for a human relationship, but rather about being obedient to what God has instructed us to do. This quote is a game changer. It completely reframes the entire purpose of forgiveness. For so many of us, the primary motivation for forgiving someone, or the primary obstacle, is the relationship itself. We think, I should forgive them so we can be friends again, or I can't forgive them because I never want to see them again. We tie the act of forgiveness directly to the outcome of the human-to-human connection. But Lysa here is saying, let's decouple those two things. Let's separate the act of forgiveness from the goal of reconciliation. Sometimes reconciliation is possible and beautiful, but many times, especially in cases of abuse, chronic betrayal, or unrepentant hearts, reconciliation is not safe, not wise, and not possible. And if we believe that forgiveness is only for the purpose of restoring that relationship, then we will remain stuck forever in those impossible situations. Instead, this quote shifts our focus upward. It makes forgiveness a vertical transaction between you and God, rather than a horizontal one between you and the person who hurt you. It becomes an act of faith, an act of obedience. Why does God ask us to forgive?
Not primarily to fix our broken human relationships, although that can be a wonderful side effect. He asks us to forgive for the sake of our own souls. He knows better than we do that unforgiveness is a poison. It eats away at us from the inside out. It separates us from His peace. It blocks the flow of His grace in our lives. When God instructs us to forgive, He is not ignoring our pain. He is not siding with the offender. He is giving us the key to our own prison cell. He is saying, I know they hurt you. I see your tears. I was there. Now I need you to do this one thing for me, but it's really for you. Let it go. Give that debt to me. I will handle the justice. Your job is to release it so that you can be free to receive the healing and peace I have for you. This perspective is incredibly liberating. It means you can forgive someone who has passed away. You can forgive someone you will never see again. You can forgive someone who is still actively trying to cause you harm. And you can do it while maintaining healthy, strong boundaries to protect yourself from them. The act of forgiveness becomes about your heart's posture before God. It's you saying, God, I don't feel like it. This hurts so much. But because you ask me to, and because I trust you, I choose to release this person to you. It takes the pressure off of us to fix the unfixable and places the entire situation into the hands of a God who can handle it. It becomes less about them and everything about our relationship with Him. And that leads us perfectly into our third and final quote, which builds upon this very idea. It's a beautiful summary of the divine mercy behind this difficult command. Here is the quote, "Forgiveness is a command, but it is not cruel. It is God's divine mercy for human hearts that are so prone to turn hurt into hate." Let's break this one down, because every part of it is packed with meaning. Forgiveness is a command. Lysa starts by being direct. In Scripture, it's not a gentle suggestion, it's an imperative. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you. It's a clear instruction. And sometimes we can bristle at that. We can think, how can God command me to do something so difficult? Doesn't He see how much I'm hurting? It can feel harsh. But then she immediately follows it with that crucial clarification. But it is not cruel. This is the part we so often miss. We see the command and we feel the weight of it and we interpret it as a burden. We see it as God adding a heavy responsibility on top of our already heavy pain. But Lysa flips that perspective entirely. It's not a cruel command designed to add to our suffering. Why? Because it is God's divine mercy. The command to forgive is an act of mercy from God to us. It's a gift. It's a rescue mission for our hearts. Think about that. The very thing that feels like the hardest, most painful task is actually God's loving provision to save us from something even worse. And what is that worse thing? The quote tells us, it saves us because our human hearts are so prone to turn hurt into hate. This is a deep psychological and spiritual truth. When we are hurt, that's one level of pain. It's the initial wound. But if we hold on to that hurt, if we nurture it, rehearse it, and refuse to let it go, it undergoes a terrible transformation. The hurt metastasizes. It curdles and hardens into bitterness. That bitterness then solidifies into resentment. And that resentment, left unchecked, can easily become a deep-seated hate. Hate is an incredibly destructive force. It doesn't just harm the person you hate, it consumes you. It twists your personality, poisons your perspective, and darkens your soul. It's a heavy black cloak that you wear everywhere you go. God, in His infinite wisdom and love for us, sees this danger. He sees our vulnerability to this process. He knows that the initial hurt can destroy a moment, but the resulting hate can destroy a life. So, the command to forgive is His loving intervention. It's Him stepping in and saying, stop, don't let that wound fester. Don't let that hurt turn into hate. I have a better way. I have a way for you to process this pain without it destroying you. It's called forgiveness. It's His emergency brake for our hearts, preventing us from spiraling down that dark path. It's not a cruel demand. It's a divine escape route. It's His mercy in action, protecting us from ourselves and from the devastating long-term consequences of unresolved pain. This quote beautifully reframes forgiveness, not as a burden we must carry, but as a lifeline we must grab. So, to wrap it all up, Forgiving What You Can't Forget is more than just a book. It's a manual for heart healing. It's a roadmap out of the wilderness of pain. Lysa TerKeurst doesn't offer easy platitudes or quick fixes. She offers hard-won wisdom, deep spiritual insight, and practical, actionable steps to help you reclaim your life from the grip of past hurts. She gives you permission to feel the pain, but she empowers you not to live there. Whether you're struggling with a small slight or a life-shattering betrayal, this book meets you where you are. It acknowledges the complexity and the messiness of forgiveness and provides a grace-filled path forward. It teaches you how to protect your memories, how to free your future, and how to understand forgiveness as an act of obedience and a gift of mercy. It's a powerful reminder that while what happened to you is a part of your story, it does not have to be the end of your story. There is a life that is beautiful again, waiting for you. Thank you so much for joining me today on BookTube English. I truly hope this exploration has been helpful and encouraging for you. What are your thoughts on forgiveness? Is it something you've struggled with? Have you read this book or any others that have helped you on this journey? I would love to hear from you. Let's create a space for supportive and insightful discussion in the comments below. Your stories and recommendations enrich this community for everyone. If you found value in this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with someone who might need to hear this message, and of course, subscribing to the channel for more deep dives into the world's most impactful books. Your support means the world and helps this channel grow. Thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.